In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 unique product research methods that you can use to find your next winning product on Amazon FBA. Welcome back to FBA Unfiltered. If you're new here, my name is Taylor. We are documenting step by step how we're launching this new product on Amazon FBA. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out when we post live updates on how our product is actually doing. If you have questions about how to do product research and if the research methods you see on YouTube are actually going to work for you, you're going to want to check out this video. Alright, so here I have the new seller checklist pulled up. This is module 4, product research and validation. This is a big module. It should be where you spend a lot of your time. And so it's going to take me a few videos to break down this module. And in this video, we're going to go through product research methods, software tools, and I'm going to show you some of the resources down here and how to use them. So to begin this whole process of product research, it's very helpful to have an idea of where to start. Okay, so that's what this idea generator is. I can pull this up right here. And essentially all this tool is for is to help you start to think with the mindset of someone who's looking for product opportunities. So you're just going to start reflecting on hobbies or interests that you have, expertise that you may have in an area, or previous products that you purchased, and start to think about them through the lens of, is there a product opportunity associated with this? All right, the next thing that you should do is make a copy of the product opportunity sheet, which is right here. Go ahead and pull this up. You'll want to make a copy of this so that you can edit it. It will have some of my products on here. These are pretty old, but we'll go through filling this out and I'll show you exactly how to use it and why it's a handy tool. But for now, just make a copy, have it handy, and we'll get back to it soon. All right, so getting into the actual product research. I have my Helium 10 account pulled up here. I would highly recommend that you go ahead and get your Helium 10 subscription or your Jungle Scout subscription, whatever software you want to use. But I highly recommend you get that sooner than later so you can start getting in the habit of doing this product research. Because like anything else, it is a skill and you will get better as you go. So better to start now, get the reps in, and start learning how all of this works. Now remember when we went over these 3 frameworks, the private label 2.0, the one of one product, and the killer brand? Keep those in the back of your mind because some of these research methods kind of correspond loosely to each of these frameworks. So for example, this black box feature, this tool on Helium 10, kind of lends itself well to the private label 2.0 approach, where you're looking for a product that you can improve, a product that's selling really well, or a niche that's performing really well, but has a lot of room for improvement. So the way I use this tool now is actually changing. So let me show you how I've kind of updated my approach to using this tool. I go to the advanced function here. I currently just do one category at a time. So think back to your idea generator sheet and maybe there was a hobby or a recent product that you purchased that fits into one of these categories. So go ahead and select whatever category that is. For me, I'm going to go through something in kitchen and dining that stood out. So I select kitchen and dining. Now I'm actually not going to put a review count in here. Okay, I'm not interested in filtering out reviews at this stage. Are reviews an important metric? Yes, and we will get back to them, but I think it's the wrong approach to put in a minimum or maximum review count. I think it limits this stage of the research too narrow, and I think you'll miss opportunities by doing so. However, what I have been doing currently is setting this max review rating pretty low, so 4.3 out of 5 stars. Next, what I do down here is put in a max variation count of 3 because I don't want to see like bed sheets of every color or t-shirts with a bunch of color variations or stuff like that. One thing that I've been playing with here is to actually add a keyword. Now, this is something you only want to do if you have already been kind of playing around in a niche and you're like, I want to get a little bit more specific. Say you were in the pet supplies category, but you weren't actually interested in lizards and birds. You were interested in dogs. Well, you could put the keyword dog down here to limit your results just to things that actually pertain to dogs. So since we're in the kitchen and dining thing here and I have an idea about something related to oil, I'm going to put in oil as a keyword there. Okay, now the price. You'll frequently hear people talking about narrowing by the price, and there are a lot of pros and cons to this, but again, I think this narrows things down too much off the gate. So I'm actually going to leave the price wide open. I'm not going to put a minimum or a maximum. I know that's a little different than how other people are doing it these days or other advice you might hear on YouTube, but stick with me. We'll see how this goes. However, what I have been doing is putting in pretty tight monthly revenue ranges. There is a good reason for this, and that is essentially, obviously, you don't want a product that's doing very low revenue because then you're not going to be able to make any money. More importantly, on the maximum end, you want to be careful with your first product that you're not coming into a niche that is just simply put too big. In other words, it's going to be hard for you to come up against sellers who are doing $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a month in revenue, because they're either going to be selling a lot of units of a very high ticket item, which could be expensive for you to source and require too much of an initial investment, or they might just be selling so many units of a mid-ticket product that you would have to create a huge first order quantity just to have enough stock for 1 month or 2 months. And so that would make things a little bit tricky for your first product launch. So I recommend really narrowing this down. I've been doing about $15,000 to, let's say, $65,000 or $70,000 here. Again, you can play with this. Maybe for you, you're okay with a $10,000. And I actually think that's fine. So let's do $10,000 to $60,000 there in the monthly revenue. And then I just click search. Now what I'm going to do is sort by the revenue. And we're just going to start going through all of these products. Now, when you do find something interesting, just pop it out into a new tab and leave it there for a moment. Don't leave this search, right? You really want to make sure you're going into the weeds on each search that you perform and not just chasing a one-off product that catches your eye right off the bat. Really do a good search through this list and pull up several products at a time and then go and look in more detail after that. Okay, so let's say you found a couple interesting things and you've pulled them up in a new tab. Next thing you're going to do is pull up that listing and you're going to copy paste the main keyword here back up into the search bar, and you're going to search that whole niche. And what you're going to do is pull up your Helium 10 Chrome extension and access your X-ray feature. Okay, the first thing I always do here is filter out the sponsored products from the results. Then I come over and I sort by the BSR, and then I double check to make sure that everything up here is actually the similar product that I'm looking for. So like this one's not, these ones aren't stainless steel, or maybe they are, they just look very different. So I'm just going to remove those from the list, and then we're going to keep looking into this. So we're going to come over here and we're going to look at their revenue. So we can see it's pretty solid. We've got a spread from 70,000 down to about 4,000 down here on the low end, and we've got a pretty good spread in the middle, 40, 20,000, 30,000, 13,000. And so we're going to come over further and look at some more of this. So we can see here, this is interesting because none of these top sellers have very good reviews. And that strikes me because it's like, why? They're still making good sales. They're still selling, hundreds to thousands of units every month, but none of these top sellers have very decent reviews. The highest review score here is a 4.4 down here with 44 reviews. Likewise, not very many of these listings have over 1,000 reviews, and we've got a couple up and comers here with only 200, less than 300 reviews that are still making really good sales. So the next thing we would do is start to take some of this data and add it to our product opportunity worksheet. So we come back over, I've got the worksheet pulled up. This is a similar product that I was looking at. So what I do is I take the actual product, what the product is called, and what the main keywords are, and I put those in. And then I start filling all this stuff out. Now I've just been making some improvements to the spreadsheet, so you'll see here I haven't filled in all of these columns, but bear with me, I'll show you how to do this really quick. So I put the competitor URLs for the first competitor, the top selling competitor, the second competitor, and the third competitor in here, and I list the number of reviews and the average review rating for each one of those competitors. Then I come over and I start putting in some numbers here. Estimated monthly revenue, a quick and easy way to do this is to take those top 3 sellers, we add up their revenue for the top 3, and then we divide by 4 as if we're the 4th seller coming into that space, just to give us a ballpark, okay? These are just ballpark numbers to get us started. So we put that number in here in the monthly revenue. Then we put our estimated list price. Now, this doesn't have to be an exact match for any of the competitors' list price. If you think you can offer a premium version of this at a higher price point, put that price in. If you think that you can offer the same price point as the top seller, put that in. But just put in your reasonable estimated list price here. This one you want to put in because it factors into the equation for all the rest of the numbers. Then you're going to put in your estimated sourcing cost. To do this, you're going to need to pull up Alibaba or something similar, and you're going to search that keyword again. And here it is. And we're just going to look, there's probably a couple options. Here's another one, here's some more. and it looks like they're around the $8 to $10 price point. So we're going to go on the high end of that, and we'll put that into the opportunity worksheet here. Next, you're going to take the estimated FBA fee. If you want to find it, you can click this link. This will bring up the revenue calculator from Amazon, and you can just take one of the competitor ASINs and put it in here. However, Helium 10 also makes this pretty easy. If you just want to do this quick and down and dirty, you can actually pull their fees from this column here in the Helium 10 feature. So it looks like these are doing around $12 to $13 in fees for those top sellers. So we'll go ahead and put in our fee here for $12. The referral fee is calculated automatically off of the list price. All right, and once we have all the fees in, it's going to start telling us some of our estimated margins here. So it's telling us that we have an estimated profit of $3.49. Then we're going to go and we're going to look at how many units we could reasonably expect to sell. Again, to do this, we're just going to take the top 3 sellers. We're going to look at how many units they sell, add them up and divide by 4, put that number in here, and it'll give us our estimated monthly profit and our estimated monthly revenue. Then over on this side, it'll crank out our estimated profit margin, and then you should leave some comments. So like this one, the margin is not borderline low, the margin is too low. So that would disqualify this product. We needed a margin here of at least 35%. So this one, we would not continue on researching this product because it's not the right margins. However, if it was, you could go on to leave some comments about it, such as how would we differentiate? What do you know about this product and this niche and how you could brand it? And then you can start putting in some positive and negative feedback about the item. Typically, the way I do this is go into ChatGPT and copy and paste the reviews and ask ChatGPT to analyze them, but we'll come back to that at a later point. But if you notice right off the bat, as you're just doing a quick walkthrough, like, hey, everyone's complaining about this down in the reviews, you could put that in the negative feedback, and you can reference that later when you go to follow up on this product. Okay, so that was a really quick demo of a product research technique that's kind of associated with this private label 2.0 approach. Let's see if we can do a technique for this one-of-one product approach. I hope you're liking the video so far. I wanted to pause really quick to let you know that you can get your own copy of this step-by-step checklist mentioned at the beginning of the video. The link is down in the description. So I come back to my Helium 10. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my magnet keyword search tool, and I'm gonna search keywords here. Okay, so I recently bought a puppy. So again, thinking back to that product idea generator sheet, one thing I've been researching a lot about and buying a lot of products about are puppies and dogs. And one thing that my puppy has been up to is chewing everything and teething, basically. So I'm going to put in a search here for puppy teething. And then what we want to do here is start to filter this as well. So we can start by filtering the search volume. Actually, I'm more interested in the max volume, but we'll put in a really conservative minimum volume here of 250 searches a month, just really low, just so that there's nothing, we're not getting results with 0 searches. But then here for the max, I do like to put a pretty restrictive max here because I don't want a keyword that's showing me 15 or 20,000 results a month. It's probably too generic of a keyword. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. And then this word count one is important. So I recommend not really spending much time with anything that has less than 3 words in the keyword search. So what this does is basically, instead of puppy teething, this is going to have to be related to puppy teething, but have 3 words or more. All right, now to narrow this down further, you could put in an actual phrase here. So I'm putting in the phrase teething because I do want it to be narrowed down to teething. Then I'm going to click apply. I'm going to rank by the search volume. Now this is the monthly searches that this keyword has, but you could also filter by the magnet IQ score. This is Helium 10's attempt to tell you how many competing products are associated with the keyword. So it basically divides the search volume by the number of competing products and comes up with a score. Now, I frequently find that this score isn't very accurate. A lot of times it thinks things are competitor products that aren't competitors and vice versa. So I like to go with the search volume and I just start going down the list. All right, and something that stood out to me here was puppy teething gel. It only has about 550 searches a month, but I still thought this was interesting. So I go ahead and pull that up and see what it actually looks like when a customer types in puppy teething gel in Amazon. These are the results that they get. So remember, keep in mind, these first few results are going to be sponsored products usually. You can tell because it says sponsored here. These are ads. So these might not actually be perfectly related to the keyword that you put in. So you can kind of disregard those and you want to move over to whatever the first organic rank is. And we can see this first one is pumpkin butt for pets puppy teething oil. Okay, so that's already interesting because the first organic ranked result here doesn't even have the word gel in it, which is what the keyword search was for. And as we come down, we quickly see something else that's interesting, which is we're quickly already transitioning to toys and to treats. So toys and treats aren't really what we're after. So you can see that there's not really anything being offered. There's this gel, which seems to be like toothpaste or some sort of dental hygiene product for dogs, but it's not about teething. And then we have this product here, which is actually for humans. So there isn't really anything directly marketed for puppies here. And the only one that is not a gel. So what we could go in and do is click on this one product. It's the only one that's actually somewhat related to this search. And we can see here that they've got some low reviews. And what the reviews tell us is quite interesting. So they like the formula, they like that it works, but they don't like how long it lasts, right? They're saying it doesn't last long enough. What that makes me think is, hey, that's probably because this is an oil and not a gel. They probably swallow it, or it gets diluted in their mouth or comes off their gums very quickly, and then it stops working. So if there was a way to formulate this as a gel, then you could really offer what the customer is actually searching for, which is a puppy teething gel. All right, so since this is a one-of-one product, we really can just go off of the helium-10 data here to give us a good idea. And we can see that this product is selling about 100 units a month and doing about $1,500 revenue. So pretty low-hanging fruit there. I'm not sure if I would pursue this further just because after you factor in your profit margin, you're not going to really be making much money. However, there's something to be said that, if you offered this at the $19.99 price point and you actually offered what people were searching for, which is the puppy teething gel, you could potentially capture a lot more of that traffic and make sales for that product. So that was a really quick demo of the magnet tool on Helium 10, which can kind of lend itself to this one-of-one product approach. Next, let's look at this killer brand approach, or kind of another spin-off of product research. Let's go back to Helium 10. I'm going to go on my magnet here. And since I got that puppy, I've noticed there's a lot of supplements out there, like a lot of dog supplements or dog treats that are like healthy for the dog. So I'm going to type in dog supplements. And this is probably going to be a crazy huge niche with tons of keywords. We're going to see what comes up here when we do this. So I'm going to filter this down with some parameters on the search volume, and I've actually gone up to 4 words in the word count here, and we'll see what we find. Okay, so interesting. This first search here is hip and joint supplements for dog. Okay, so I've gone ahead and pulled that up, and we're going to see here that this is probably just an absolute monster of a niche. I don't even need to load the 30-day sales data because I can see here that 20,000 people a month have bought this product. We can scroll down a little bit. 3,000 a month here, 40,000 a month here, 10,000 a month here. So this is pretty crazy. But one thing that stands out, because I have a dog, and the dogs that typically suffer the most from hip and joint issues are like large dogs, right? Like large breed dogs. I'm noticing like this one is for senior dogs, so that's niched down a little bit, but there's not really anything that I can see here that's for large dogs. So I'm going to go ahead and put in hip and joint supplement for large dogs here. All right, so looking at these first few results, this was the same one from last time. It doesn't seem like it's necessarily for large dogs. This one says large dogs here. It's doing 10,000 units a month, but kind of hard to tell that that's actually for large dogs. This one doesn't say it's for large dogs in particular. So nothing here seems to actually be targeting large dogs. This one's for adult dogs. This one's for senior dogs. So that's interesting. I'm going to come back here to dog supplements, and I'm going to do hip and joint supplement for large dogs. And for this one, I'm actually going to put in 5 for the minimum word count. I want maybe joint supplements for large dog or hip and joint supplement large dog. we're going to really filter this down because we want a lot of these keywords in there. And in fact, I'll even put large here in the phrases containing, and we'll filter for that. Okay, interesting. So much more modest search volume, but very focused, right? We have dog joint supplement, large breed. This is actually a brand name. We have dog glucosamine supplement for large dogs. I think these are the ingredients that are used in these hip and joint supplements. Dog hip and joint supplement, large breed. Again, that same brand. So pretty interesting. Large dog joint and hip supplement. So quite a bit of search volume. But again, there's not really anything that appears to be specifically targeting large dogs. We have this one here that says kind of in the fine print that it's for large dogs. So I'm wondering, could we offer this? Could we make some packaging, make some branding that's specifically for large dogs? I think we could. And I think, so like this one's for like agility. They're kind of niching down that way. Some of them, like we saw before, are niching down for, senior dogs or old dogs or adult dogs. But nobody is really attacking this large dog or large breed approach. So this could be one of those killer brand things where you niche down and you specifically create a brand of hip and joint supplements that are just for large dogs. And all of your marketing is about large dogs, owners of large dog breeds, right? And you make it very prominent on the packaging and in the listing title that your supplement is specifically for their dog, their large dog. All right, so that was a really quick walkthrough of some different product research techniques and tools. Again, your homework for this part of the module is going to be to go ahead and get Helium 10 or Jungle Scout, start doing some product research, make a copy of that idea generator and fill it in so you can start to get the juices flowing. Make a copy of the product opportunity sheet and start filling that in. You can always refer to the revenue calculator, and you can refer to Alibaba or Thomas.net to estimate your cost of goods and start filling that in. The goal is to fill in 10 product opportunities on that sheet before we move on to the next stage, which is validating products. All right, that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. If it was, please leave a like. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on our live updates as we go through week by week how our new product is actually selling on Amazon. As always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.